Welcome to Your Pathways to Wealth, the podcast where we explore what wealth truly means, because it's different for everyone. I'm Charles Massimo, and along with my partner, Peter Anastasian, we'll dive into strategies, stories, and insights that help you define, grow, and enjoy your wealth on your terms. So let's navigate this journey together.
Join Charlie and Peter and their guest experts as they venture to help you continue to grow your wealth.
Welcome back to Your Pathways to Wealth. I'm Charlie Massimo, and as always, here with my co-host, Peter Anastasian. And today we're diving into a very different but deeply important topic, mindset. Because wealth isn't just about money, it's about clarity, intention, and how you choose or how you show up for your life. To help us explore that, we're thrilled to be joined by Joe LaPietra, founder of Mastery of the Minds. Joe is a speaker, mentor, and mindset strategist who's helped thousands of people, from students to CEOs, reframe their benefits and take control of their lives. And this is an episode I'm really excited about because when Peter and I had an opportunity to speak to Joe, I guess about a week or so, the passion that Joe came through with and enthusiasm was so clear. So this is really exciting. So Joe, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Peter.
So Joe, I guess before we get into Mastery of Mind, let's really take a step back. You really, you have a very powerful story. So, tell us how you actually got to this point.
Started working when I was 12 years old. My father told me to.
Like most, right?
Well, not really now, Peter.
Well, right, it's true.
That's another story. Participated in athletics, played college football. Wasn't delusional to think that I was going to make a living playing sports, although I loved every second of it. Played at Franklin and Marshall, was a quarterback, was a captain. So what I did was I bridged, this is while I was working, all the principles that I learned in athletics into the real world. Retired a couple of years ago. I was a managing partner of a national agency, master agency, which means top 1% in the industry. I had 400 Peter and Charlies in my office. I think you guys are nuts for what you do, which thank God for people like you. I mean, that's a whole other discussion. So I was the head coach of the office. I grew up in Bergen County, New Jersey, North Jersey, right over the GW Bridge. Always good to talk to guys from Long Island. Moved down to Potomac, Maryland in 1990 and been here ever since. After I retired, I was actually just featured in an article in Forbes magazine. Thank you. The life after retirement. Started speaking at schools. Sadly, my younger brother, I have a younger brother who went to Lafayette. Younger sister, also Lafayette. So sadly, my younger brother, Chris, passed away about 5 years ago. He also played football. He retired. He was an executive at Honeywell. Very aggressive form of cancer, stayed up in Sloan 6 months, and he died. Mm-hmm. So I started going out speaking to schools about it was just a light that came on. And I started to love it, like instantaneously. So I built this bridge curriculum called Mastery of the Mind, which focuses on human and emotional intelligence by teaching real life tools and skills. Packaged all the stuff that I learned while leading in business into this curriculum and started talking to schools, high schools, and universities about empowering young people with these tools and skills. It is branched out now back into the professional world, in addition to high school and college students and coaches. The kids jokingly say Lala. They call me Coach Lala. My last name is LaPietra. Lala means learn, adapt, lead, achieve. So they see me working with Morgan Stanley reps, and they're like, "Oh, Lala, you're working with the old people now." I'm like, "Hey, can you believe it?" Like, Why are you doing that? I don't know. So we're over 3,000 students. I love every second of it. And this thing just keeps growing. The foundation was formed January 1st, 2023, and we're on a roll.
Wow, that's great. Now, talk about why the focus on the young people, and what kind of impact are you seeing?
Yeah. Well, I always break it down to the 4 S's, and it's the 4 S's. You guys are in financial planning. It's the 4 S's of money as well. There's a survival mode of money, stability. I'm starting to figure this out. There's success. Okay, I think I got this. And there's significance. So I believe those are the 4 S's of developing a career. And I believe this the 4 S's of mastery of the mind. You can't hear a tree grow, but you can certainly see it. So the charge I get out of this, Charlie and Peter, is when I'm done with these modules, to see these kids moving more confident in what? How to public speak, how to communicate, how to network, how to be referable, how to dominate a meeting. It's a total trip. Personally, this is a 1,000% significance move for me. In my life. It's a great feeling when I walk on a campus and I'll hear 15 kids yelling, la, 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 we got you today. We got you today. And then they walk in with their journal and they're telling me they just went up in history class and rocked their presentation, or they just got a job. Tell me about that account that you talked about saving money, and just, so that's the juice. The juice, and you guys know, anytime you get involved with something, I mean, my whole life was, if you ain't passionate about it, don't do it. Just don't. It's a waste of time. I get jacked going to my sessions, and it's just a total significance move for me.
So Joe, who would you say is your target audience, meaning age wise, and how are you changing the message or not in regards to the different age groups that you're speaking to?
Okay, so if you focus on groups like teams, the critics, Peter, will say these kids are too young. Like, let's call it 9th grade. It doesn't mean I don't speak to 7th and 8th graders. I mean, these smart coaches are bringing me in to use me as a recruiting piece to come to their school, because we offer mastery of the mind. And you guys don't understand the world now. You're negotiating with 7th and 8th graders on, And not just that, it's with their parents. But as far as the classes are concerned, with the modules, 9th grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, since the thing is launched and momentum, when I go back to these schools, all these kids are like, yeah, I had him last year. Yeah, I had him last year. And a 9th grader is not too young to be taught lessons on how to believe in yourself, or how to pour a foundation, or when the teacher calls on you, speak louder, clearer, and slower, or when they bring you up in front of the room, here are the tools to rock it. Or if you don't know the answer in life, you tell them I don't know, and you don't BS them. Now, and I also form big brother, big sister programs where, in any, especially in college and high school, the seniors think they're all that, and they quickly forget that 3 years ago they were freshmen. So we launched big brother, big sister programs to get mentorships, then bring in business people from the community to mentor the kids. So it just spokes out.
Joe, both Peter and I are huge believers, because I think one thing that differentiates us from other advisors is our true focus on the next gen. We make it a part of our planning all the time, and our clients certainly appreciate it. And Peter's son just got accepted into University of Miami. My daughter graduated with a master's in speech about a year ago, and I always tell her, Elena, communication is always the key. Right? If you can communicate well, you will do well. But I'm fearful of that, because now in the world of AI, in the world of social media, maybe not my daughter's generation, but certainly my future grandchildren's generation, I'm concerned they're not going to know how to communicate because it's only going to be AI and social media. How are you talking to the ninth graders about that portion of not to get distracted or over spend too much time in that area of their lives?
Yeah, and that's a tough one, Charlie. Okay, because I mean, when we were that age, we had to work our ass off to get the answer. All right, we had to go dig to find the answer. Well, these young men and women, boys and girls, they got the answers. They click the button, the answer's right there. The problem is they don't know the flipping questions
Right.
and what it takes to get the answer. It's too easy.
Right.
It's too easy. And teach the kids. I've never seen $1 million deal close on a text. I've never seen a relationship formed in business just on the phone, or just if you want a client, you meet them. You got to find. And so the concept there is, how do I show up in your presence? When you get on the phone with somebody, when you meet someone, how do you show up in their presence? How long do you have to rock that first impression? And it's really this, it's, like use football. The average football play is 4 seconds. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000 over. A lot of good can get done in 4 seconds. But for example, if you're a running back and you see a hole that you could drive a truck through, can you get some damage done running through that hole in 4 seconds? Hell yeah. And you could also blow it in 4 seconds. So get these guys and girls but it's hard, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Finding that
hard.
out.
You can say it all day long, but that's why we role play a lot. A ton of role playing in my classes. Like I'll say something, they're like, "Oh my God, Lalo, that sounds really good." And I go, "I know it sounds good because I said it. Now let me hear you say it."
Right.
And not only am I going to hear you say this, Charlie, I'm going to video you saying it so you can see it. Okay?
But,
say it and see it.
But that brings up a really good point. I mean, there's a saying, preparation is separation, right? And first impressions, as we all know, people will decide whether they like you or not within the first, what is it, even 10 seconds or less for that matter. So what goes into, preparing those students of yours in order to show well during, a first impression? So can you walk us through that process?
Yeah, well, here's a trip. Exercise 1, session 1. All right, before we get started, take out your journals and write 3 things that you're great at. And I'm telling you guys, the kids stare at the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And even the old people. Write 3 things you're great at. It's dead silent. And go, hey, by the way, if you want to copy, Peter, if you want to copy off Charlie, go ahead. It doesn't matter to me, but write 3 things. All right, take. You got 3? Great. Okay, write down 3 more. And then it gets quieter. So I'm amazed on the presentation that these kids make to the world versus the reality of their insecurities and doubts. And I do everything humanly possible to get them in believing in themselves. And also not to panic, to stick to the course, and work your ass off. One of the most influential people in my life still is my father. What were the things that he ingrained in me is he would ask me, "How bad do you want it?" ? And if you want it that bad, what do you got to do to get it? Oh, there it is. You just 50% of solving the problem is clearly identifying it. So guys, ladies, what do you want? And they want to go to the penthouse immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately.
Right.
They want to walk into your office and go, "Yeah, you know what I was thinking? I got a B+ in finance at University of Miami. Good luck, Peter. It's only what, 90 grand a year. It's good.
Listen,
Good
if he
choice,
came back,
Peter.
if he came back with a B plus, he knows what's coming at home. So I don't think he'll walk into the house with a B plus at this point.
Oh, really? What, is he, you going to ask him for ID or like? But they're taught, get a B plus, you'll be great. No, you won't.
Nope.
Like, no, you won't. Here's how you're going to be great at. We talk about fixed mindset versus growth mindset. I'm huge on that. And, you know, I know you guys dominate the money world. Me too. I spend my whole life in money. And there are certain principles that I teach in when I talk about money. Like, for example, your relationship with money is lifelong. All right. I mean, I was just, my 88-year-old parents, they still have a relationship with money. Okay. But before we start talking about asset allocation, do you have a job? Like, have you ever worked? Do you know what a tax is? Like, but self-belief is so key and to get them to stop and breathe. Because they're and some of these schools are big time schools athletically, and they're playing multiple roles, you know, and a lot of the kids are coming from home life where they'll leave the school and then they'll go home and they'll play 3 or 4 different roles at home, you know, and they're 15. Yeah. You know, and then you got these college coaches coming after them, throwing their BS at them. And so it moves quick.
Yeah. So Joe, walk us through. So a school asks you to come in and talk to their student body. Is it a one-day thing? Is it a multiple session thing? Talk us through what the experience looks like from those sitting in the seat from a time-wise standpoint, so I have an understanding.
Yeah, leadership is demonstrated, not announced. If you are the leader of the program, and I sense, this is what I teach the kids, celebrate those who celebrate you in life, okay? Hang around with 3 millionaires, you will be the 4th. Hang around with 3 people that get A's, you will be the 4th. Hang around with 3 deadbeats, you will be the 4th. Pick, choose, purge. So I meet with Charlie. Charlie can't, like, even this podcast, man. Thank you for inviting me to do this, and to Peter. You guys are into this. You see it, okay? And I'm going to give it back 1,000%. So if you're a leader of a school, I'm going to work with you all day long. If you view this as another meeting or another class, I won't walk away from you. I'll run away from you. Like, I'm out. Okay, I will not work with you. Now, the schools that I work with, the leaders are in the class. The leaders, who? The coaches, the administrators, the people from development, and they're stealing my stuff. Great, do it. Okay, so I'll go into a university and we will book 5 sessions, for example, 5 different modules. How long are the modules? Typically an hour and a half. Hour and a half to 2 hours for college, an hour for high school. We schedule them. What are we going to go over? Well, then we start using my bridge curriculum and start talking about which one we want to do. We want to do mindfulness. We want to do networking. We want to do financial literacy. We want to do public speaking. We want to do how to interview. Boom, there's the curriculum. So then we schedule it and then we implement. Some of them Charlie and Peter will be like, yeah, I want you to do financial literacy with my school. I'm like, okay, so what do you want to do about it? Yeah, come in and talk for a half hour. I'm like, no. No. So the modules are built. Then you work it out with the company. Morgan Stanley, I did 8 sessions this year. Marsh McLennan, 8 sessions this year. So you build a little curriculum, you give a little homework in between, and then you do some follow-up.
Okay. I have to imagine that's a pretty large undertaking. So I'm guessing as you get into it, they really start to believe in what you're saying. because again, it's all about, I guess, mind shift or mindset, especially in these young people's minds.
Yeah, and you know, in fairness, it's ridiculous the schedule that these kids have. You know, like for example, like I'm in the busiest time of the year right now is June, July, and August, because all of my teams are in camps, so they're on campus and they have a break in the action. All right, and this is a great time of year to do this because you're not competing with school, and these are not schools that you say, hey, Coach Mass, I'm not coming to workouts this summer. I'm going to the beach. You know, you're like, yeah, good luck, Charlie. Swim deep because you ain't playing here. I mean, these kids are coming here to compete. Sure. Girls too.
Right.
So I'll drop Master the Mind in to during their camps over the summer, and the coaches love it, and a lot of the parents come too. The parents love this stuff. Like when I'm in meetings, when I'm talking to the kids and parents are next to them, they're like breaking the kids' ribs, elbowing them, going, you see, this is what I've been trying to tell you.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier, and maybe now making a shift from the younger generation to, you know, the people we work with, or you know, people in general when it comes to investing. You know, you said your relationship with money is lifelong, as you mentioned your parents. You know, our show is called Your Pathways to Wealth, and we've seen firsthand wealth without mindset mastery often leads to fear, self-sabotage, or even paralysis. How do you see mindset intersecting with money?
Yeah, what do you think the number one answer is? What does money buy when I talk to these kids?
A big, you know, a shiny car.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the number one answer is happiness.
Wait, kids say that?
100%.
I'm shocked.
What does money buy? You know, what does money buy? So talk about mindset, Charlie, right? So I'll put that slide up. What does money buy? Tell me what you think, Charlie, Peter.
Yeah, for us, it's freedom.
Yeah, certainly.
Well,
no question.
My answer is time and things.
Mm-hmm.
All right, time is freedom. Okay, does it buy happiness? I know people with a lot of money, the most miserable assholes I've ever met in my life. Okay,
we do
right?
too.
or they think they got a lot of money, so they think they're the bomb. No, you're not. So we talk about money. I'll put another one up there. On the left-hand side, it'll say money is the root of all evil. On the right-hand side, lack of money is the root of all evil. Okay, what do you think? Which one?
Mm-hmm.
Now, all you guys and ladies want money. Why do you want it?
Right.
What for? It's not bad, by the way. It's just I want to see what's going on in your brain.
Right.
And when you start to make money, it becomes a responsibility. Now, I think there's a generational bridge that isn't being built because of entitlement. Where, I mean, you guys have been busting your ass together for 25 years on creating these financial kingdoms that are just going to pass on to people. And these kids are not stupid, by the way. They know.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
right? They're not dumb. And they're great negotiators. Right? Yep. They're like, yeah, dude, I know what's coming. I mean, my son, he knows what's coming. You know? I know, Dad. So economic sanctions to young people, I think, are fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it works with nations. Why doesn't it work with a teenager?
Sure.
Yeah, I totaled my Volvo. So my parents got me a new Beamer. Oh, wow.
Right.
But I'm also I talk about it's not what you make, it's about what you keep. I talk about the relationship between income and lifestyle, which is the end of it. I don't care if you're in the NBA or if you're working with us. If those things don't align, you will live your greatest financial risk. What's that, Lala? It's called room running out of money. That's it.
Right.
And then I give examples. And some of them get it. Some of them get it. But I'll go back even further and ask them, are you working? Or I'm going to correct myself. I don't say, hey, Charlie, you have a job? Charlie, teach me why you're choosing not to work this summer. That's all.
Right.
Right. That's a great point. And I think we're brought up in a society where, you tend to have excuses, right? There's constant excuses why, you shouldn't do something or why you can't do something. And I think as you continue to eliminate those excuses, people start to realize, meaning the younger generation, that there really aren't any. I mean, if you really think about it, I think that the number is there's about 97% of the US population has a smartphone.
Yeah.
So you tell me, or us for that matter, what you can't learn on a smartphone, whether it's watching YouTube videos or, learning AI amongst many other skill sets. So that'll eliminate the excuses altogether. But getting back to your point, Joe, you step into an organization, a school for that matter, and you're doing a multiple series. What type of reminders do you try to provide, or are there reminders where once you leave, these children will then continue with that mindset moving forward, right? Because it's great to hear. We've all been to conferences, we've all been to these wonderful events, but once we leave, we sort of forget it, and then we continue, on a normal way. So, any advice or suggestions that?
Yeah, well, there's trillions of dollars of people that made trillions of dollars on grown-ups that do the same thing. They'll go for a 3-day retreat. They'll pay 10 grand, and they'll oh my God, this is all good. By Tuesday morning, they're doing the same stuff.
Right.
So the leaders of that industry are not dumb. All right.
Right.
But I will reinforce as much as I can, as much as humanly possible. What are you implementing? I'll stop class every 15 minutes or so and check it. Okay, everybody, what do we got? What do we got? What'd you pick up? What'd you pick up? What are you going to use? Peter raises his hand. The reason is I want you to clean up your journal, and then I want you to speak louder, clearer, slower when you say it. And if Charlie missed it, I want to be able to hear it so he can clean his stuff up. What are they? And what are you going to do? And it doesn't make any difference. All these theories, using a sports team on the whiteboard, everything scores. But when you get out there and on the field, you're like, oh shit, there's a defense here. Like, I didn't expect that. Well, that's life. Now what? So it's a tough question. Now, to be perfectly candid, I think there's a missing piece in the way these kids are being taught of the street element of life, of this stuff versus the book element. I mean, all they care about is the grade. They could give a what about the learning, and they have so much access to information. It's tough to keep their attention span. Mm-hmm. And as I'm talking to you guys, maybe one day we'll be able to do sessions together. But I'm telling you, my sessions are up tempo, man. It ain't boring. I mean, I come in there, I teach you in a sales interview. If you you got to be red hot if you want your prospect to be even lukewarm. You come in there lukewarm, they're ice cold. You're done. Yeah. And they're a tough audience. Like, oh no, another meeting. I got music cranking. Yeah, I mean, and it always helps if you feed them. Yeah, that's good. I took out a line of credit for pizza. I got pizza deals with everybody in the area. And then break it down. Peter, I want you to make your mistake in here. Say whatever you want. Because if you do it in here, it's no big deal. If you do it out there, it costs us what? And they all yell, money. And we don't want to lose money, do we? No. So we're going to master it in here. And that just breaks the ice. And if Charlie's the leader, I'm going to get him first. So I say, you know, everyone's like, oh shit, I'm scared of this stuff. But Charlie's scared of it too. I'm going to be a little bit more open with what I'm feeling. And the coaches, they just sit there and chill and they just watch. And they're learning so much about these kids. They're like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that about him or her.
Yeah. It's so true. I think schools are just so set on a curriculum that they can't see outside of that curriculum. And to your point, that curriculum doesn't help them survive in life, not all the time. And this is the stuff that they need to understand to survive, how to manage money, you know, how to connect with money, you know, how to appreciate money and all those things that we still try to teach even some of our clients. Because, Joe, one of the things we hate hearing most from a new client is just tell us about your returns. Well, how relevant is that until we really understand what's important to you? What are you trying to achieve? And I think the earlier you can start that, the better off this world's going to be. And that next generation will be.
Agreed. So the tool that I teach on that is practice what you say, dominate what you ask, especially if you're in sales. Practice what you say, dominate what you ask. You're not going to get to know anybody by just talking about yourself. So, okay, everybody stand up, and I want you guys and ladies to start talking to each other and stick to asking questions. One person is just going to ask questions, and the other ones are going to answer them and see how much you can get out of learning. Because when you're talking with people in investing, then you start getting into, you guys remember Nick Murray. I love Nick Murray.
Love Nick Murray. Still, every month I get his newsletter and read it.
He's awesome. Places in the heart versus numbers on some chart. I mean, it's just, if you can't get to that, and by the way, I work with coaches on how to recruit these kids. Because a lot of the coaches, all they do is go, come play here, Peter. You're going to get the ball 30 times, blah, blah. No. Get to know them.
Right.
Get to find the thread of discontent. And the same thing about when you guys, right? You see this client, I love what you're doing, but my brother-in-law is doing that, blah, blah, blah. Who's the electric fence around this person that you got to get to and talk to and understand? And a lot of times call BS on them because they don't know what they're doing. Some of my kids, they're in school right now and they ain't happy endings, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them are getting some NIL money. They're blowing it. Some of them aren't in charge, maximizing their degrees. Some of them are jumping from one school to the next. But then I got a bunch of them that are doing well.
Joe, you know, I think a big area is how to, you know, I'm not going to say cope because I hate using that word, but how do people handle, especially ninth graders in that market, rejection? I mean, it seems like that could either be debilitating to some because they just don't even want to put themselves out there to get rejected.
Yeah.
And there's others that will thrive off of it and it'll drive them even deeper. So what advice are you giving a ninth grader in regards to handling rejection? That's so
good. I'm laughing my ass off right now. We drill that. Okay. And I'll do a whole module on the sales cycle.
Right.
Suspect, prospect, client, friend. Suspect, prospect, client, friend. I mean, rejection. All right. I'll have one person leave the room. Okay. I need a volunteer. Who's up? Charlie raises his hand. And I teach that person. I go, by the way, you're the most courageous person in this room right now for raising your hand, number one. And number two, you're going to learn the most out of this drill because you chose to come up here. So, but Charlie, leave the room. So I bring him back in. I write on the whiteboard, would you like to meet to discuss your financial future? ? And I have the kid turn their back to the room. Now you got 125 kids back there. Okay. The kid reads the and I break it down where every time you get a yes for an appointment, I go through the whole thing. I'm not going to go through it. You make $50, whether you meet with them or not, as long the numbers say in the sales cycle, make the numbers work for you. Every time you get a yes, you make $50. Whether I'm not talking about a no show or no, doesn't matter. Okay. And we get to, at the end of it is, if I paid you $50 for every yes on the phone, would you ever stop dialing? Mm-hmm. And they're like, no. I'm going, okay. So when it comes to rejection, recognize, don't personalize. So now we're back to the drill. The kid will read, would you like to meet about your financial future? And I'll sit there, if you can see me, I'll put my thumb down to the rest of the team. And they'll all yell, no. The first time I did it, I had a 6'4", whatever pound offensive lineman. He turns to me like he's gonna, use your imagination. So I go, what are you looking at me for? Are you gonna stop dialing? Like, what do you want me to do? So he asked it again. No. Then I put double thumbs down, which meant hell no. We finally get, after about 8, I give thumbs up and they yell yes. So I run over to the kid, I hand him a $50 bill. And guys, he's running around the classroom with the $50 bill over his head like he just made $1 million.
That's great. I love that.
So the next yes, he comes back. I go, Ian, what'd you do with the $50 that you made yesterday? He goes, I paid my mother for the speeding ticket.
Yeah.
So what's the point of rejection? Recognize, don't personalize.
Yep.
When do you get in trouble? When you start personalizing. One of my favorite books in the world is The 4 Agreements. And one of the agreements is don't personalize. People have stuff going on in your life. I don't teach them the word no. You don't hear no. You hear not yet. You hear not yet. Peter, I'll never, ever, ever, ever meet with you in time's eternity. Great. I'll take that into consideration when we get together. Like, just blow right through it. Like,
I love that.
The sales cycle, guys, on a 1 to 10 with college students, I see like a 0.5 of them being taught how to sell.
Yeah.
And what jobs are available when they come out of school?
Sales.
There you go.
Yep.
So we talk a lot about grit. We talk a lot about perseverance. We don't talk about if adversity. We talk about when. We talk about coping skills. We talk about it's okay to get down, give yourself a pity party, throw some water on your face, give yourself a pep talk, and get your ass back there. I talk about the reality of money with them, that they don't get it. And the only time you get it is when you start paying, ready, all of your own bills. That's when you're going to start to get financial literacy.
Peter and I are certain this is not going to be the last time we speak. As we told you on our last call, we are championing a next gen program here at Wealth Enhancement Group that we can hopefully roll out nationally, which we'd love you to be part of. So we'll certainly continue this conversation. And I before I go, I want to make sure I thank our mutual friend Dina for connecting us. And again, I know this is going to be a relationship that's going to last for a long time. If this conversation resonated with you, we highly encourage you to check out Joe's work, because wealth isn't just what's in it, what's in your bank account. It's how you think, act, and live. And Joe, the best way for people to learn more about your work, where should they go?
Yeah, thank you again, Charlie Peter. The website is Master of the Mind, MOTMUSA.org, MOTMUSA.org. Easiest way to find out what we're doing, how we're doing it. Email MOTMUSA.com. So reach out, see it, and would love to talk to people about working with their schools, companies, etc.
If there's anything else we can do on our part, Joe, please let us know, because as I said, we're huge advocates of the work that you're doing. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and you guys must love reaching out to the younger generation too, right? Otherwise you wouldn't be doing this.
We do.
Absolutely.
Big part of what we do. And the younger we could get them, the better off. Like you said, ninth grade is not too early.
Not too early. They eat it up.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, respect for you guys, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
And to our listeners, certainly if you enjoyed this, please leave a comment. Please share it, especially for you with your children, your nieces, your nephews, your grandchildren. I think they're going to learn so much from this one episode. So as always, we thank you for tuning in, and to learn more information about our work, you can visit us at yourpathwaystowealth.com. From Peter and myself, we look forward to seeing you next time.
To connect with Charlie or Peter, visit them at yourpathwaystowealth.com or call them 631-777-1030. That's 631-777-1030. The material and the opinions voiced are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or entity. To determine what is appropriate for you, please contact your financial professional.